You're listening to Create Wealth Through Franchising, and I'm your host, Kim Daly. In my 20 years as a franchise consultant, I've helped hundreds of people achieve their dreams of building and scaling franchise businesses to create wealth. The interview you're about to hear can also be found on my YouTube channel, where I post new franchising content multiple times per week. Please take a moment to subscribe to the podcast and to my YouTube channel at kimdaly.tv. Now, enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Coach YouTube channel. I am excited to bring you another real world story of franchising in 2021. Again, sharing the good news for those people who had courage and tenacity, who dared to pursue their dreams during a pandemic, and who are living those dreams today. So I want to introduce my once candidate, now forever friend, Bonnie Massa. She is the owner of YogaSix in an area south of Boston in Massachusetts. Bonnie, welcome to the Daily Coach YouTube channel.
Thank you so much for having me. It's exciting.
I'm so excited to have you. You know, I love all of my candidates, but there are a few candidates along the way who I just want to stay forever connected to. And Bonnie, you absolutely are one of them. So I'm so excited to have you here to share your story today.
Thank you. I'm pumped.
What I really want to talk about is just the adaptations of, first of all, opening a yoga studio in a pandemic. Like, how does that go in a state that was largely on lockdown until like a week and a half ago? And we're going to get to that and the highs and lows of that and how your franchisor helped you. But let's just bring the audience into our story and how you found me. I think found me,
yes,
but how we got connected and even what led you to what you were looking for in a franchise and what led you to the YogaSix opportunity.
So our story did not start out to be at Mach 5 speed. It was supposed to be a slow seed planting thing where I mentioned to my husband that maybe at some point we would be interested in a franchise. And within probably about a week and a half, I am being invited to a call with a franchise consultant, Kim Daly. I says, "What is this all about?" He says, "Oh, I found her. I found her online, and she's going to help." And we, as you know, went through the very lengthy and intense process where you basically interviewed us several times and asked us lots and lots and lots of questions. And we answered almost opposite on everything. So I did not end in their position.
Usual for couples, by the way.
So it was.
This is where the marriage counseling comes in.
Exactly. So I started thinking you were going to be more of a matchmaker than anything because you really had your work cut out for you trying to whittle it down to really what suited both of us. And you did a great job. And then you set us up on our speed dates with the different franchises, and we ultimately narrowed it down to about 3 and then started really doing a lot of research. And by the time we got to Exponential and YogaSix, we fell in love. My husband is a very type A personality, and he likes everything in neat little boxes and to have an order to things. And Exponential really delivered that. They all have their roles, and they each stay within their roles to keep you on track. They answered all of our questions. They were very candid about everything. And ultimately, that was where we settled. And I was thinking of you the day that we were leaving. We were sitting in our airport, and I really wanted to represent because I felt like you had really helped us get to that point that I didn't know was going to happen so quickly, but I also didn't know it was going to be so much fun to get there. And I was really proud of the fact that I was of the Kim Daly team. And I really wanted to represent that when I got to California because I was thinking they should really know where I came from. They should know who brought me here. How did I get here? And that was when I texted you or emailed you and I said, girl, you need some Team Daly t-shirts because I really want to walk into Exponential headquarters and represent. but we were
This is the greatest email ever, by the way. I still have the email. And on that note, Bonnie, I want to show you the first shirt ever made that is yours.
I love
That is
it. It's
Team Kim Daly, the
awesome.
Daily Coach.
I
This
love
is coming
that.
to you after today. It says inspiring dreams and changing lives.
I love it. And that's exactly
And I
all
hope that you
true.
will wear it and represent.
I will. I'll wear it very proudly. Thank you.
When I got that email, I still have the email. I had it printed out here on my wall forever. You inspired a dream in me. I had never thought about having like Daily Coach swag.
Right?
And then I got that email and I was so touched and so excited. And I wished at that moment you had on my shirt. And ever since that day, which was like what? Way over a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
A year and a half ago.
At least.
It's been on my mind and I finally followed through and you are going to receive the very
I
first
love
Daily
it.
Coach
Thank
shirt.
you. I'm super excited for that. Thank you.
Okay, continue in your story.
Sorry.
Exactly. Oh, why I love this woman. Hey, Daily Coach fans, if this franchise sounds like a fit for you, I would love to be your Daily Coach. Email me right now for a totally free consultation at inquire@kimdaly.tv.
So we went out to California and we got there and it was, I had never been, so it was not at all what I expected. And, I pictured it to be very different. We get there and, we get into Exponential and they kind of put us all into this room where each member of the team comes out to talk about their part. And then at the very end, they have, the head of all of it, Exponential, Anthony Geisler, comes in, and you're just blown away by his vision and his tenacity. And it just was so, I think it was a big aha moment for us that we had found our fit and that these were our people, meaning the Exponential team. And they worked the way that we worked. And that is what I think drove it home for us. When we were on our flight home, we were just super excited about everything and we couldn't stop talking. And I'm sure we annoyed the crud out of everybody around us because we were just like, and it was all Exponential and, our yoga studio. What were we going to do? Where were we going to put it? So it was very, very exciting to get to that point. And then it just, we signed month of November. That's when we signed our franchise agreement. And then we hunted for a location for the better part of December, January, February. And then we kind of locked onto one that we really liked where it was and went through all the lease negotiations. That was, I've been in real estate for 20 years. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was unbelievable. And I was so grateful that there was an attorney to handle all that. And we went through that, and then we signed in May of 2020, a good 6 weeks after the lockdown started. But when that started, it's only going to be for 3 weeks. And then it's only going to be for 2 months. And we were like, that's fine. No big deal. We're not going to build out until the end of the summer anyway. Yeah. So building out during COVID, that was a good time. Everything was closed.
You're like writing checks on a business you're not even sure if you can open.
Exactly. And it was
how did that
terrifying. Terrifying. And, you keep telling yourself there's an end game. And you get to that point where the build out is happening and it is the most beautiful boutique workout space you have ever seen. And then you're kind of like, oh, it's okay that I keep writing all these checks.
That nobody can come in and enjoy this.
And we had an amazing GC and we had amazing communication back and forth with Expo when we were asking a lot of questions because a lot of this equipment is unfamiliar to us. So we had a lot of questions and the resources were there. So we learned a lot about our business and we learned a lot about what went behind all those walls and why those walls are made of what they're made of and things like that. And then we got to a point where we had to open. It's, it's written in your lease. You get X amount of days after it's done. Doesn't matter about COVID. COVID what? So we got to that point and we were able to, we opened November 30th is when we opened our doors to our VIP members, the faithful that joined us when we were boarded up windows and, really didn't look like much of anything. They bought the hopes and dreams of working out, doing yoga in a beautiful space. And we had our VIP week and then open to the public December 14th. And it's been wild since then. These people make me so proud, and they're just so grateful to have a space and they feel like they belong somewhere. And I can't tell you, we're going to actually start working on gathering some video testimonials because it's been overwhelming what I hear from these people. I hear, you've literally saved my life, or my health has improved so much my doctor was able to take me off 2 medications, or just this is what I needed. And especially coming off of that COVID lockdown, they needed it more than they ever did. And the gratitude is very overwhelming for me on a daily basis because we were very humble in what we were trying to bring. And to really see how much it's helped people and brought them all together has been incredible. Just incredible.
Hey, Daily Coach fans, if you're inspired by this conversation, I invite you to email me right now to explore this franchise opportunity. My email is inquire@kimdaly.tv. So I want to back up a little bit and fill in some gaps. So you're signing a lease in a pandemic. How did your franchisor, when I'm coaching candidates, I'm always telling people, look, you're not buying a widget. So in your case, the widget was sexy, right? Were you and Ron fitness people, or was I matching Exponential to you based on some other characteristics?
So it was kind of both. Ron is very into fitness. He's, at some fitness something pretty much 6 out of 7 days a week. And he mixes it up. He's all over the place, but he has to have his fitness in almost every single day. And even on that day off, sometimes if it gets to be a little too late in the day, he'll be like, I'm just going to go. So he'll go. So he's always been in fitness. He's owned his own business for a long time. I came at it from what do I want to bring to the people? And I wanted to bring something that didn't exist around here. I didn't want to just be another white noise on the map. I wanted to bring them something that they had never seen before. And having practiced yoga for off and on for probably about a good 20 years, but also having this absolute hatred for going to gyms to work out, we kept being mad. You were trying to work with me because you hate to work out, but if you're going to be owning a workout place, you have to love it. So it was, I'm sure, quite the challenge for you. But when we were doing our little speed dating, they were all definitely something we could see ourselves owning and being behind and being a part of and all of those good things. But it was definitely interesting.
Yeah, so yoga wasn't you didn't come to me looking for yoga. I mean,
No,
nobody does. I mean, nobody ends up in a business that they say, hey, not, no, I shouldn't say nobody. Very, very, very
right.
few, right? Because when you go through my process, hopefully it became clear that you're buying a relationship. The most important thing that you're looking for in a franchise partnership
Yes,
is a partner, is someone who can be there to support you. And you said some amazing things that were happening during your due diligence that I'm wondering, they set you up with an expectation of excellent support. Has that been met now that you're in it, doing it,
it
and being
has been
supported?
met. I mean, anything that we're feeling the growing pains of is unrelated to the franchisors themselves. It's the situation with the pandemic. So our state was probably one of the last ones to open up. So we definitely were not able to hitch on the ride of, that wave of opening because he kept us back for so long. But I think we knew we wanted something in the fitness industry or service industry. So you were kind of working with my artistic side and finding us things that were pretty and aesthetically pleasing, and working with his mechanical side where it was, I want them to have a good workout. I want them to leave feeling better than when they came in. And you took that and you gave us, I think there were, I want to say maybe 5 that we had to speed date with. And you were like, even if you know halfway through, just listen to the whole thing. And you were right, because I learned a lot on all of those calls. And I really learned why one or another was not a good fit for us. So I think you came at it from,
Right.
the softer hand of it all. You kind of took my side and his side, and you had us kind of look at both. We each had to speed date. He took the ones that were more crazy fitness, and I took the ones that were soft handed. And then YogaSix kind of fell right in the middle. And I was shocked when he said to me that he was really, really leaning towards YogaSix. Shocked. But I'm thrilled.
It's awesome. Thrilled, right? So, I love to talk about the good news of 2020 and how franchisors adapted and overcame some of the biggest challenges that we've ever faced in our lifetime in business. And I know, fitness had huge obstacles, right? And social distancing problems for a lot of different gyms, but not for YogaSix. But are there any adaptations that specifically come to mind, Bonnie, where you knew the support, but you were just like, wow, these people really are like extra special? Were there any moments along the way, even if it was like emotional support for you? I've heard some stories about AG climbing in his closet at 2 o'clock in the morning, like talking franchisees down from the ledge during, the 2020. Here he has,
Yeah.
1,700 fitness boutiques, and none of them can be open.
Yeah, we
So
were fortunate that in the way that we were not totally locked down, like some of the other states across the country. We got to open with 9 mats. Our studio holds 36. We got 9. So
wow.
corporate was great about supporting us with marketing materials about how safe we are and our cleaning protocols, and giving us the social media pieces that we needed to kind of really talk up our brand and why we're better than anything else that was open at the time, why we're cleaner, safer, why we care.
Yeah.
And they were so supportive with those pieces. Then the sales end of it, they sent us, they had specials that happened, introductory specials, to kind of get the people in to see how clean we are, see how much we mean when we say that we're safe. We mean it. And we had the support of the weekly calls that we get from sales and from marketing and from the monthly calls. I mean, there's always calls. This is one of those weeks that I'm in right now that I do actually have a call every single day this week with one different piece of corporate. And it's so helpful because I learn all these things and I take notes, and then I go back and I put them into action. And it's very, very, it's always been very supportive. We've never really felt like we were kind of hanging out there by ourselves, even though we are very disconnected geographically.
We use that expression that you're in business for yourself,
Yeah.
but not by yourself, right? And that's what you're saying. You feel that level of support. And that's the difference between an entrepreneur being out there on their own, just, on an island trying to figure everything out. Can you imagine starting a new business, not knowing what you don't know, and then having to adapt and overcome to this pandemic? I mean, you can see, having opened a business with the amazing support of Exponential Fitness, can you see why so many mom and pop, without judgment, why so many mom and pop businesses
I can.
couldn't
I can.
reopen?
We were literally given a playbook right from the start. This is how to do things week by week by week. And if we were floundering or if we got another curveball thrown at us, it was okay, on the fly, adapt. This is what we do. Try this, try that. And some of it worked, some of it didn't. But that's the name of the game. When you're the new business in town, you're the first one in the state, you got to see what your people are going to go for versus what they might go for in a different demographic or, different part of the country. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. The best thing about you, Bonnie, is, and I felt this way all along. I mean, You were very nimble. That's the best word for you. You're like the yoga, you embody the yoga personality just in terms of going with the flow. And like, I think you're really a great compliment to your husband, who was a little bit more, like you said, he wanted it direct and he wanted everything like, and I find that so many candidates, especially now coming through a year where there was so much uncertainty, are trying so hard to get the certainty of the business and the numbers and how it's all going to look and feel before they say yes. When you are the biggest determining factor, professionally, personally, and financially, then how you show up is going to be the greatest variable in the start of your business and the success of your business. And so the danger in candidates trying to have so much certainty in the beginning is that they're taking themselves out of that equation, which that's the greatest variable. And to your credit, you have this spirit of kind of go with the flow and everything's going to be okay. And you're experiencing that now, and that's going to help you, number one, not only have a longer life in general, but in business ownership, but I think a happier, more successful life, because you are adaptable and changeable, and you can go like that on the fly, which, not just in this time, but in any time. That's what business ownership requires. So congratulations on
Yeah, that's what we're finding.
that. Yeah. What are you most looking forward to over the rest of 2021?
I think the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is growing it to a point where we are, we're seeing some, returns, where it's
Start making money?
yeah, making some money. I mean, I would love to get to that point where it's not just coming from
Right.
us to finish
That's
it
like
all
the
out.
first pressure valve reliefs, right? When you're like, you're at your break-even membership.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, now we can start turning the
yeah,
corner and getting to profitability.
yeah. So hopefully we can get to that point. I'm praying we can get to that point by the end of this year. But it's definitely been slower, but I really think it's a timing thing between the pandemic and then by the time he opened us, well, now it's summer and summer people are really busy and the kids are not in school. So, the moms and dads don't get all those opportunities that they had maybe a month
Yeah.
ago. But, like you said, we're rolling with it, working with it. And I am thrilled that things are starting to open up, that we're going to get to go have our tent and I get to go out into the community, which is something we haven't been able to do. And I want to be able to introduce the brand to as many people as possible.
And really be that brand ambassador. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. It's amazing. Well, I cannot wait to send you this shirt and to get a picture. Maybe I can put it on my
Definitely.
website. And I'm just so happy that you came to share your story and just help drive home the point that you can say yes to your dream, even in a pandemic, and survive it.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be the simplest thing you ever did or the easiest thing you ever did. But, when you look back and you are cash flowing and you're opening your second club and you're living the life that you signed up for, you're going to look back on this moment and go, we did that. Right. And you're going to have like the most overwhelming feeling of pride and satisfaction. I know you are. You are.
I can't wait.
I know. I can't wait for you either. So thank you so much. For anybody who would like to learn more about the YogaSix opportunity or Exponential Fitness, please leave a comment below or reach directly out to the Daily Coach. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for being my guest today on my show. Any parting words for the Daily Coach YouTube followers?
Just do it. Go for it.
Just do it. That's awesome. Just do it. All right. You heard it from her directly. If you found this inspiring, please contact me at inquire@kimdaly.tv. My consulting services are totally free to you. Again, that email is inquire@kimdaly.tv. I can't wait to hear from you.